Sergeant Preston of the Northwest Mounted Police with Yukon King, swiftest and strongest lead dog breaking the trail in the relentless pursuit of lawbreakers in the wild days of the Yukon. Back to the days of the gold rush as Sergeant Preston with his wonder dog Yukon King meets the challenge of the Yukon. This is the Yukon, the territory patrolled by Sergeant Preston. Here gold was a god to fortune hunters who poured into this untamed country in hope of a rich strike. Neither sub-zero weather nor blinding snows could hold back the hordes when a new strike was discovered. Pine Bluff was destined to be the birthplace of a new gold strike.
Down, boys. You go say hello to your friends, King. I'll unharness the team as soon as I've reported in. Go ahead.
Well, Sergeant, it's good to see you.
Good to see you, Inspector.
How'd the patrol go?
Fine. But I fear we're in for some trouble soon.
Do you expect something to happen?
Yes, I do, sir.
Sit down, Sergeant. Tell me about it.
Well, I spent my last night in the territory at Big Jim Benton's place. His young son, Jim, had just returned from a prospecting trip. And from the samples he showed me, I think Jim struck a real bonanza at Pine Bluff. Came back to Dawson with me to register his claim and a friend's.
Has he spread the news of the discovery?
No, he hasn't. I talked him into maintaining silence until we were able to police the area.
We take that step immediately. Can you leave for the area tomorrow morning?
Yes, I believe my dogs will be rested by then. You know, I was afraid the lad couldn't resist the temptation to talk. So I convinced him he should start back for his claim immediately after filing. He'll spend the night at Elk Junction.
It's a good precaution. If he talks, there'll be fewer to hear him, and it'll take longer for the report to spread.
With your permission, sir, I'd like to start early enough to overtake him at his first camp.
Very well, Sergeant. And report to me in the morning before you go.
Thank you.
Preston's forethought in getting young Jim out of Dawson averted a major gold rush. But the young prospector approaching the small village of Elk Junction was too full of excitement to keep the secret long. And on the trail ahead were two men who lived by violence and crime.
Glad to see a town my life. I've pulled this sled for the last 40 miles. There.
Did I help it if the mutts ran away?
Yes, you shouldn't have beaten that lead dog.
They wouldn't pay any attention to my orders.
It was a new team, remember? You didn't give them a chance to get used to you. Well, what do we do now? This sled's no good to it with just two dogs.
We're going to sell it and the dog. If we ever need another outfit, we'll get it just like we got this one. Steal it. Now, let's go.
Right.
There you are, Frisco, right down the middle.
You practically gave that sled and dogs away.
Why worry? It was all profit.
Here you are, gents. Ham and eggs.
All right.
Best in the Yukon. Anything else?
Nothing. We'll let you know if we want anything else.
Well, how you boys doing?
You know what prospecting is, Al. We just pan out enough to cover expenses and throw a little your way.
You got the right idea. Good business, steady customers, and no worries.
Yeah, but you boys know my real love prospecting. I just do this to tide me over until there's another bonanza. Hey, speaking of prospecting, look over there. A real sourdough. What can I do for you, son?
A cup of coffee, please, and I want a room for the night.
Esther, step right over here and I'll get you the coffee. Here you are, steaming hot and good. And there's a room for you. I'll get you the key later. Say, I haven't seen you around, boy. Where are you from?
I'm on the way back from Dawson. I live east of here.
Oh.
My pa runs a trading post at Three Rivers. I was helping him till about 2 months ago.
You got a lot of new tools. Aiming to do some prospecting, son?
There's no law against it.
No, but prospecting no cinch. A lot of work, most of the time for nothing.
I'll take my chances.
Maybe he knows where there's gold, just for the taking.
Don't let those two scalawags discourage you.
Well, you don't have to discourage him. The Yukon will take care of that.
I know the Yukon.
He can always go back to work for his pa.
Yeah. Finding gold is different from trading. It takes a man.
What if I tell you I've already found gold and staked my claim?
Yeah? Where?
About 60 miles from here.
60 miles? And you come from east of here? Now, where would that be?
It's not the Bonanza. Well, that's north. El Dorado is south. It must be Pine Bluff. That's about 60 miles east of here. There's no gold up there. I've covered just about every inch of that territory.
Well, now, Jed, you've been looking for a big strike. Maybe Pine Bluffs is good for the price of a cup of coffee.
You call 6 ounces a day coffee money?
You mean you're taking out 6 ounces a day?
You sure you ain't talking about fool's gold, Sonny?
You call that fool's gold?
Well, what do you know?
Is the stake much, son?
No, my claim's discovery. There's one other claim, old Ezra Hamilton's.
So that's where Ezra's been hiding out. He came in here about a month ago, but Ezra sure didn't seem to be very flush. All he had was a couple of small nuggets that hardly weighed an ounce altogether.
Ezra's a cagey old codger. For all you know, he's got a cabin full of gold. It'd be just like Ezra to save it all up for one big splurge.
Yeah, but Ezra's such a talkative old cuss. I'm surprised he didn't tell everybody.
I guess he's smarter than I am. I couldn't keep my big mouth shut even after I promised.
What did you promise?
I promised Sergeant Preston I'd let the police break the news of the strike after they had someone up there to maintain order and police the area.
Nothing to worry about, son. You're among friends. We wouldn't talk.
What time you figure on leaving for the strike?
Well, it's about a 2-day trip. I'm going to start about 7:30 tomorrow morning.
You'll have company along the trail. My partner and I will be ready to leave when you are.
I'm on my way, too. But I can't leave until I can turn the cafe over to someone to watch while I'm gone. But don't worry, I'll catch up with you.
Let's go to the room, Frisco. You know, that old man's probably got enough gold stashed away in that cabin of his to make us all rich. All we gotta do is to get that gold before the Mounties arrive and then leave for the border.
How far can we travel without a team?
Don't worry about it. We'll get one as soon as we get out of town and get some sleep. I want to get out of here at least a couple hours before the others wake up. Go on. Yeah, that's a good spot. We can see anybody that comes along that trail, and yet they won't see us.
It suits me. I've gone far enough on foot. Listen. I hear dogs. Someone's coming.
Yeah.
It's the kid and the 2 prospectors.
Let them go. They can break trail for us part of the way. Besides, that cafe owner, Al Stevens, will be along real soon. All alone.
Well, Sergeant, there's nothing we can do now but hope that the precautionary measures we have taken will prevent trouble when the news of the strike gets out.
And this will get out soon enough, sir.
If so, you'll have the advantage of being on the ground and being familiar with the problems. The outcome of this will depend largely upon you, Sergeant. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Whoa, you huskies, whoa! Give a man a chance to get his wind back.
I'll hold my fire till I can't miss.
All right, you huskies, hike! Hike!
But I tell you,
No one's in sight.
All right, let's move. We want to pass the boy and those prospectors when they make camp tonight.
What about him?
He's out of sight of the trail. Forget him.
Hi! Ha!
By a near miracle, the bullet which downed Al Stevens had merely grazed his skull, stunning him temporarily. When Al regained consciousness, he realized that he was in grave danger of freezing to death unless he could reach shelter and help. Meanwhile, Sergeant Preston, with his great team, led by Yukon King, had made fast time on the run from Dawson to Elk Junction.
Well, good morning, ma'am. See, Al has a new helper. Business must be good.
Oh, ain't 'cause we're busy, Mr. Mounty. Just that harum-scarum Al Stevens had to rush off to the gold strike.
Oh, I see. Well, how long ago did he leave?
Not much more than about an hour ago, I'd say. But he was in a powerful hurry. Got me up before dawn, he did. Asked me to take care of this place for him.
How many others know about this gold strike?
Oh, about 4 or 5 others left before Al did.
Well, thank you, ma'am. Oh, by the way, don't tell any more people about the gold strike. We'd like to have police supervision in the area before the claim stakers arrive.
And that's what the gal said. Of course, I told you 'cause you're the police. You're gonna have to hurry if you want to catch up with him. He sure has a case of gold fever.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll hurry.
On, King! On, you! Sergeant Preston.
Easy, Al.
But I've got to...
Stay behind them and keep out of sight till they make camp. Then we'll pass them and get a head start.
Well, if we're in front of them, how are we going to find the place?
We can't go wrong. There's only one trail to Pine Bluff, and we're on it.
Where are we going to camp?
We're not going to camp. We've got to keep moving.
Hi! Ha!
Well, you just finished this hot soup, Mr. Al. It'll keep your strength up till the doctor gets here.
But I tell you, I feel all right. The sergeant fixed my head up first rate.
You're lucky you're alive. They intended to kill you.
Well, I guess so. But why?
And I don't know. Seems like that happened during a gold rush. The tracks showed they had no sled of their own, so they undoubtedly wanted yours.
That must be the doctor now. Yeah. You feel so strong? See it yourself till I let him in.
I'm strong enough to go after that pair of dog thieves and let them see what a bullet feels like.
And you may think you are, but you stay right here in bed. King and I'll handle the dog thieves, and we're leaving right now. And like the lady says, finish the soup.
What'd you find out?
They had supper and then went to bed. Now we'll let them get to sleep and then try to get past them tonight without being seen.
How about feeding the dogs?
Now we'll just slow them up and feed them before traveling. We'll get way ahead of that bunch and then we'll feed them.
All right.
Jed, Wes, wake up. Wake up, Wes. Someone's coming.
Hi, you fellas traveling mighty late. What's the hurry? You take care of your business, we'll take care of ours.
You know, I recognize those two unfriendly sourdoughs. They were at Al's place last night.
What'd you have to yell back at them for? To make sure they remember us?
Oh, forget it. By the time they get to Pine Bluff tomorrow, we'll have the old man's gold and be well on our way to the Alaskan border. Come on.
Hi!
They're on their way to your strike.
That means we won't be the first. You think we ought to take off after them?
What do you think, Jim? Will they stake the best ground?
As long as they're the only ones ahead of us, there'll be plenty of pay dirt for you fellas. Come on, let's get some sleep.
Long after the fall of darkness, Preston followed with his magnificent team, King in the lead, setting the pace. Each passing hour cut down the lead held by the two criminals.
What is it, King? Something up ahead? May be the men we're after. Come on, we'll make sure. Let's go.
I heard a dog bark. There's another team coming up the trail.
Must be Al. He's overdue to catch up with them.
Why do you suppose he stopped? Can't hear anything now.
We won't take any chances. You go around the other side. Bark. Draw their attention. Understand?
Seems to me someone's trying to sneak up on us, and I don't like it.
Get your hands in the air. This is the mounted police.
Somebody get this dog off of me. I'm being smelly.
It's all right, Sergeant Preston. It's Jim Benton. What a way to surprise us. You always announce yourself on the trail this way?
Sorry we startled you, Jed. Do you want to lodge charges against that blanket for unprovoked assault? Now, seriously, Jim, we had to make sure of your identity. We're on the trail of two vicious men. We shot Al Stevens and left him for dead.
Shot Al Stevens?
Did they kill him?
No. Fortunately, it was just a grazing wound. He'll be all right.
The two men that passed our camp just after we bedded down.
Did you recognize them?
Yeah, they were at Al's when I broke my word to you, Sergeant, and told about my discovery.
Well, that's unfortunate. Did you know them?
No, never saw him before last night.
One of them was a big fellow called Curly.
This curly fella called the other one Frisco.
Those two crooks were listening when we were talking about old Ezra having all that gold hidden away.
Well, in that case, there's no time to lose.
Sergeant, I have a suggestion. Now, you haven't had any sleep, and we have. We can break camp in a few minutes. Now, I know the trail, so I can lead the way. With King's help, Jed or Wes can drive your team while you get some sleep on my sled.
It's a good idea. Short nap might brace me up. But I make one condition. That you three men stay clear of any fighting that might take place when we catch up with the men we're after.
Ezra Hamilton, number 2, above Discovery. Ezra, you're about to have visitors.
You suppose you'll have breakfast ready for us?
Will you forget about breakfast? I just want to get my hands on that gold he's got tucked away.
Hey, now. Won't be long before your breakfast is all ready, Ezra. Oh, that's very nice for you, Ezra. Yes, sir. Real nice. You got a nice claim? Cabin all built? What more can you ask? How about some nice bacon and flapjacks, Ezra? Hey, don't you boys believe in knocking before you come busting into a man's home? Oh, I suppose you want to warm up a bit, eh? You prospected?
Yeah, in a way.
How's that?
But we're after gold. Your gold.
My gold? Say, you wait a minute, I'll take it. What are you shoving?
Now, you listen to me and quit stalling. We know you've worked this claim for more than a month, and you've spent very little of the gold to speak of. We want it. Go get it.
Wait a minute, I wait for that gold, and I'm not going to give it to you.
No, look, we want to be nice to you. Before Curly loses his temper, tell us where it is.
I won't, so he'll
I
take it.
told you, old man. Quit stalling.
You want to punch it?
I'll show you the bad side of me.
You and your big fist. How do you expect him to tell us where the gold is now?
He'll talk all the quicker when he comes to. Just don't stand there like a stick. Get that breakfast ready you were talking about.
Bacon and flapjacks. They're all ready for the griddle. Look at that. Boy, oh boy.
Preston, for all of his driving physical force and stamina, needed rest and was strengthened by his brief sleep.
Down, boy.
Thanks, Jim. I'll take over from here.
There hasn't been a sign of anybody, Sergeant, or we would have wakened you as we told you we would.
Ah. They must have pushed down through the night without a camp. Otherwise, we'd have overtaken them.
And if they were looking for Ezra, they'd have found him by now.
How far is Ezra's place from here?
Just over the hill.
We'll leave the teams here and go the rest of the way on foot. If there's any trouble, take cover. Come on. Come on, King.
There's nothing to mind, Curly. I even checked the floor and wall in case he buried it. That lean-to, I kicked to splinters. No sign of any gold. Black powder.
Yeah, he's a real tough old bird, all right. But I think I got a way to make him talk.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert on blasting powder, but I know what happens to this stuff when it gets real hot.
That got him. He's scared to death.
You better be scared of the old skinflint. This is your last chance. You either talk or I'm going to put this powder right in that stove over there.
Hey, what good'll that do?
It'll either uncover his hiding place or take care of our friend for good. Now, let's wait out in the woods till it's all over.
Wait just a minute. Let me think what I want to do.
Well, that's much better, but you better hurry up. We haven't got all day.
This is as close as we can safely go. You fellas stay here till I give the signal.
I decided. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you take those 3 cans of blasting powder and put it in the stove. But, boy, you better run a long ways.
Yeah, you're tough, all right. Since my bluff didn't work, I'm really going to have to work you over. Give me a hand.
This is better, Curly. For a while there, you had me fooled, too.
You know, you've wasted enough of my time. You either talk now or I'm going to burn you to a crisp.
Hands over your head. You're under arrest in the name of the Crown. Drop to the floor, Ezra. All right, both of you get over there. Move! Throw that pistol on the floor.
Then you let us out of here. I'm going to drop it in and blow us all the kingdom come.
That'll take it a while to explode. It's time enough for all of us to get out of here. And you'll still be my prisoner, unless you choose to stay around for the explosion.
What about the old buzzard? He's tied hand and foot. He'll never get out of here.
And you've got a point. But I warn you, Curly, no matter what you decide to do with that blasting powder, I'll get Ezra out of here alive. And my dog and I'll track you down.
Never mind that. Hand over that gun.
All right.
All right, both of you. On your feet.
Move! Get over there and face the wall with your hands behind your back.
You spoiled all the fun, Sergeant. You should have let him put that in the stove. I promise you nothing would ever happen.
So that's where he hid his gold.
Had it in my hands all the time.
Well, we should have thrown that in the stove the first time you were going to. You'd have sat out there in the woods waiting for it to go off until you froze to death.
Ezra, go out and call your friend Jim. Tell him we have the situation under control. Turn around.
Hey, Jim!
We're glad you're all right, old-timer.
They couldn't hurt me. That cook told me I was a tough bird.
You are tough, Ezra. When it comes to a showdown, an honest man always has more courage than a criminal. Okay? This case is closed.